In this episode, I'm going to talk about ego death. I'm going to talk about transforming, letting go of old skin, and how this ego death, literally a part of yourself that is dying, will cause you to feel grief, to feel pain, to feel miserable. But then on the other side, what it's going to give you and why this is such a positive thing to go through. If that's something that you'd like to learn more about, then stay around.
How does it feel to be alive, to be free? Are we truly in the here and now, or are we living a dream that we created? Close your eyes to see clearly. This is life on purpose.
Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of On Purpose by Lynn. For those of you who are new here, welcome. My name is Lynn and I share with you everything you need to know about personal development and spirituality so that you can create your best life and so that you can rise to your fullest potential. If that's something that you're interested in, then make sure to subscribe. So before I dive into it, I want to share with you a little bit about my experience with ego death and how this has impacted my life so that you have a little bit of an idea of, if you're right now in this painful situation, why this is worth going through and what it will give you. So stay around for that, because at the end of this video I'm going to share with you exactly what it is that you can do to get out of it, and then again, how to find that high vibrational path in life again. So first, what happened to me when I was going through an ego death? Well, the very first time that I was going through an ego death was actually when I started to go through a spiritual awakening. And if you are on that path right now, you probably know what I'm talking about. Because going through an ego death or going through a spiritual awakening allows you to actually see through the veil of existence, through the veil of who you are, your conditioning, and what this universe consists of. And you will find a different part of yourself that you didn't know before. And because you're now connecting with a part of yourself, it means that everything that you knew to be true about yourself, about the world, about your life, everything seems like, it wasn't at all the truth, and now you're waking up to that truth. And because you're waking up to a new self, it means that the old self is inevitably going to die. And this is what we call an ego death. Eckhart Tolle describes the ego as the personality, or the part, not really personality, but a part within yourself that is contained by conditioning, by the way that you view yourself. So perhaps being identified with your work, being identified with your looks, being identified with your interests. And then that ego, that part of the small self, or actually the part of the concept of who you think you are, which is different from who you actually are in your core, in your soul. So when this ego is dying, it is actually a very stubborn part of yourself that doesn't want to die. It doesn't want to, it's very, very, how do you call that? Persistent in wanting to stay alive, or to want to have a sort of a grip or control over your life. And so you're gonna feel this inevitable struggle within yourself of the birth of your new self, but then also the stubbornness of your ego self, the stubbornness of the identity that you've always identified as. And letting go of that part of yourself feels like, quite literally, a part of yourself is dying. And that's why you will start to feel grief. You will start to feel that you're not feeling that good. You will feel like you've lost it a little bit. You feel lost in life. You don't know what you want anymore. You don't know who you are anymore. You don't know what you like anymore. And so when you're in this stage, it's very normal to start doubting yourself, to start doubting this journey, to start doubting whether you're doing the right thing or not. But the good news is that this is all very natural. That the phase of losing yourself means that you're so close to finding yourself, the real you, the infinite you, the high vibrational you that allows you to actually start fulfilling your soul's purpose, that will allow you to actually find your purpose and find why you're here on this planet and start living a fulfilled life and start living a life with purpose. Okay, that was a mouthful. So actually, I do believe that we can have 2 ego deaths, or actually multiple, because I know that because I was going through another ego death actually last year, which I didn't expect to go through. And the reason why I think that this is possible is because the ego is a very sneaky part of yourself that always tries to identify in a new way. So once you've broken out of your identity and you're suddenly free, your ego, if you don't pay good attention, your ego starts to identify in new ways. Whether that may be with your new identity, whether you consider yourself to be spiritual right now, or you consider yourself to be, I don't know, whatever job you're starting to do now. So the ego always tends to come back through the back door if you don't really pay good attention. And that's why I do believe, I don't think that this is a bad thing, but I do think that it is necessary to stay aware of when things like this happens. When you feel like you're no longer surrendering to the flow of life and your higher self, but you're now forcing an idea that the ego actually wants to hang on to. And often it happens that the ego, because it's so sneaky, it will find another way to identify. And so you will eventually, when you get to your next level of transformation, you will have to let go of parts of yourself again that are no longer serving that level version of you, because in the end, expansion is always happening. Going through a spiritual awakening, you're going through a spiritual awakening, I also believe that that is possible. That there are so many different levels within ourselves that we can discover and that we can start to integrate in our life. So inevitably, when you start to...
I want to apologize because as I was filming and fully in the story, my SD card was fully full and I couldn't delete anything yet because I still needed most of the content that was on the SD card. Hence, I'm filming or recording this part in a different way, but I guess the scenery and all the beautiful views you'll see will make this message equally as inspiring and valuable. So let's continue the story. As I was saying, in spiritual awakening, there will be a level or a point where you feel like you hit a plateau and there is a new part of yourself that is awakening through going deeper within yourself, through finding more answers. And inevitably, there's going to be a part of you that you will have to let go to in order to make space for this new version of you to emerge. And in the end, it's not so much that this is a new you, it's just more letting go of what is not you and making space for inviting in more of you, of who you already are, what's in your core, but has been overshadowed by certain beliefs, certain conditioning, certain things you were attached to. And so we can go through multiple ego deaths. I do believe we can also go through multiple spiritual awakenings, and there's not really an end to this all until I think we are enlightened. And that's why a lot of the religions, a lot of the people within Buddhism, they talk about reaching the state of enlightenment, this nirvana, this ultimate state that we can get to. And this is in the end what I feel is the goal of spirituality, is to get to that place where we're no longer clouded by thoughts, by the ego, where we're fully one with our essence, who we are, the witnessing presence, I could also call it. And now some of the tangible tools of how to navigate an ego death, how to navigate becoming aware of your ego and not allowing it to take control over you? Well, first and foremost, I think it's really important to mention that within everything within spiritual awakening, within your spiritual development, the number one key that opens doors to all of it is awareness. And I know this is something that is so easy, yet at the same time, often when we go unconscious, we're simply not aware of our essence. We're not aware of what we are thinking in the moment, and therefore the thoughts that we're thinking are starting to control us, making us feel certain things, because what we think is what we become, and it gives signals towards our body to release certain chemicals, which then leads to emotions. And in the end, energy or emotions is energy emotion, and that will attract certain things into your lives. So what I'm saying is that the key to navigating ego death, equally as not allowing the ego to control your mind and therefore your life, is awareness. Witnessing your thoughts, being as often present as possible. And with being present, I mean that you are not identified with your thoughts, that you are witnessing your thoughts, you are witnessing this moment, you're fully detached from the mind, and you're fully experiencing this moment. And an easy way to do this is to play. Play is the one of the most easiest ways to get into flow state, because it instantaneously allows you to not be in your mind but be in your body, and to have fun and to be in this high vibrational state that allows flow, that allows inspiration, that allows creativity, that allows you to find answers, that allows you to connect with your essence. So this is a tool, a way to get to your essence, a way to get to in touch with your essence is through playing, is through getting in flow state. But the number one way of how to do this, or probably the easiest way, is just to simply becoming aware as often as possible of what you are thinking, and then witnessing your thoughts, but not being in your thoughts, not being consumed by it. And what I mean with this witnessing is that it's as if you're watching a movie, but you're not playing the character in the movie. So you're aware that you're thinking. Instead of thinking, being in the thinking, you know that you are thinking about a certain thing that is maybe not serving you, or maybe drifting away into the future or into the past, and is not allowing you to fully experience this moment, not allow you to see what is actually around you and be in awe of life. And so, like I was saying, getting into flow state through either playing, dancing, meditation, going out in nature, moving your body, these are all tools in order to connect with your essence. But if you're just in your day-to-day life and you don't really have time for this, then just simply practicing becoming aware, becoming the witnesser of your thoughts is everything that you can do in order to make sure that you're fully centered, aligned with your essence, and not being too much influenced by your ego. Let me know in the comments if this episode was helpful for you, if there's anything that you're doing right now to navigate your emotions, your thoughts. It's always helpful and useful to read for anyone else in this community. And thank you so much for liking this video and for sharing this video with anyone who you think could benefit from this message right now. And of course, if you're new here and haven't already subscribed to the channel, remember to do so, as you will be the first to watch all of my videos every Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, so that you can create your best life. Remember, we have such an exciting future to look forward to, even if it doesn't seem like it right now. Thank you so much for being here, and I'm looking forward to see you in the next video. Bye for now.